Hi, I'm Penny from CN&CO, and I've decided to do the Company We Keep vlog on my very special friend Michele Sparkes. I have decided to ask her a couple of questions, and here they are. Michele, I know you've had a very interesting career. How did it start and what do you do?
Thank you, Penny. I started working when God was a boy, many years ago. I worked for a public relations company, Adele Lucas Promotions, and she handled and did extraordinary things. And one of the biggest events that she did was she did a thing called the Soweto Homemakers Festival, which was like a Rand show in the 80s. So white people weren't allowed. However, there were a few of us that were crazy, and in we went. One of our accounts was Sun City, so the celebrities would arrive and then they always wanted to go to Soweto. So of course the celebrity that I was thrown with when I was a young child was Freddie Mercury and Brian May from Queen. So in we went to Soweto with these incredible people, and here one of the most famous bands, well, no one knew who he was. Not a soul in Soweto knew Queen. Nobody knew them. So we had this unbelievable experience. They loved it, and it was the start and love of entertainment at probably my life.
Michele, how did you get involved in TV?
Well, one of our accounts was Bop TV, which was the brand new television that was being launched. I got involved, and then I was offered a job at Bop TV. So many television shows, many extraordinary experiences. What happened was we were traveling with the president, and we were in Paris, and one of the great South African performers phoned one of our presenters and invited us to go to the Zenith Stadium, and Paul Simon was singing with Ladysmith Black Mambaza. They were the greatest thing in the world. We took our cameras, went in the stadium and started filming. Paul Simon was so excited he invited us to go on tour with him. So we went to 22 cities in America and we filmed with Paul Simon, Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel, and the greatest stars in the world with Ladysmith Black Mambaza, and Joseph Shabalala did not know who these people were. So wherever we went, we were always going, Bruce Springsteen's a big star. I said, really? I don't know him. We were really fortunate, and it was fantastic. So the love of television began.
Who's the most extraordinary person you've ever met?
I would say the most interesting, extraordinary human being I met in my life was Nelson Mandela. I was fortunate. We were at the right place, the right time. We were dealing with international celebrities. They all wanted to meet him. So we would set up for the celebrities to meet Mandela, and in we went. And here was this human being. He was able to rise. He was able to do what most people couldn't do and transcend. He had an incredible sense of humor, and he knew every single person that came in there. He was an iconic statesman and the greatest person I've ever worked with in my life.
I know you've worked all over the world. Tell me about some of the interesting places you worked in, and what did you do?
Yes, I have worked in many countries. We launched Mnet across Africa. I would definitely say the most interesting place I ever worked in when we launched Mnet was Egypt. And Omar Sharif, who at the time was the #1 world bridge player. And I had just learned to play bridge. So my friends at home, like you, Penny, could not believe the stories, because there I was working with Christian Dior in the Opera House with one of the greatest film stars, an incredible human being. I even played bridge with him one day. His partner, something went wrong, and he said, come play with me. And I said, I can't play with you. And he said, you don't have to play, I'll save you. Just be there. So there I was, playing with the greatest bridge player in the world. Two of the other most extraordinary countries that I worked in, one was Russia. In 2001, I did celebrate South Africa in Red Square. We had all the top artists, Mendoza, PJ Powers, Sipho Heartsticks, and it was just such a proudly South African moment. Extraordinary experience. So Russia was something that was really special. The other experience that really was something that's very close to my heart was I worked in India and produced Miss World for them in '96, and I worked with the greatest, biggest star in India. His name is Amitabh Bachchan. He's like Elvis Presley in Asia. We had 300 dancers and elephants in the opening scene in a massive stadium. It was just unbelievable stuff that you would just never do in another country. So India is and will always be a very close part of my heart.
Tell me about some of the celebrities you've worked with over the years.
I have met very interesting celebrities, entertainers. Bill Clinton was an extraordinary human being. You could actually feel his energy. One of the interesting things about him was he would look at the entire crew, and no matter who the person was, he would talk to them. Whether he'd make a reference to the shoes they were wearing or the glasses they had on or what town they came from, and he would absolutely engage with the people. He was it was such an honor to work with somebody like him. Oprah Winfrey, I've worked with many times. Whoopi Goldberg, unbelievable. Christiane Amanpour, amazing person. Sidney Poitier, Robert De Niro, who was the Godfather. And we arrived to interview him. At the time, Mandela was quite ill. And we really thought we were going to get this powerful interview, and he just cried the whole way through the interview. So it was like really strange that here the Godfather was just crying about his friend. Sometimes people that you really think are going to rise up. Bono was an extraordinary person to interview, and he told us a story where he was in Barcelona with Mandela, and U2 were performing, and the concerts were publicized, and for some reason nobody arrived, and he was backstage, and eventually there was a handful of people, and Mandela said, "No, we must go out. Doesn't matter, we must go out. You must never disappoint people." Mandela took Bono's hand. They walked out on stage, and he said, "It is a dangerous thing to have high expectations. Thank you for coming to meet an old man like me." Bono just started crying, and everybody was in awe that this extraordinary human being was ready to go out and face a handful of people.
What work have you done recently, Michele?
In the year 2020, in February, I was involved with Nedbank, where I secured some talent. There's a very famous South African soccer player. His name is Benny McCarthy, and he has become their brand ambassador. And we brought him out, we shot the commercial, and he was just unbelievable. Working with somebody that is just a story of rags to riches, and who earned 70 rand a month, went overseas and was earning £1 million a week for 20 years. It's just unbelievable.
Thank you so much for all your time, Michele. It's always fabulous seeing you.
Oh, it's absolute pleasure, Penny. Anytime. Maybe we can deal some cards now.